right. Well, welcome back, everyone. So we are going to have our last keynote speaker. This gentleman is someone that I've known for going on probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. Before he got to where he's at now, he actually was sending me some DMs of some things he was going to be purchasing before he actually purchased them. I got to say, I'm super honored and super grateful to have this gentleman be one of our keynote speakers and also help us. And he showed up and showed out. Every single one of the keynote speakers showed up and showed out in their own way. This gentleman went into his personal database and sent out 37,000 emails to help us with this flagship year, as this is our very first year to be able to get this concept and this new online expo reality out there. So Mr. Mike Sherrard is going to be talking about YouTube and proven systems that has changed his life. I mean, his downline is huge. He's crushing it, YouTube, and he has some systems that he's developed that's really took things to the next level for his business, and that's Mr. Mike Sherrard. Welcome, Mr. Mike Sherrard.
Hey, man, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. This is going to be a really tactical, information-packed presentation, so I'm excited to wrap this up and, end your guys' incredible day with a bang, hopefully.
Let's go. All right, so first person that says here, oh, I got in a fire emoji. So we got a fire emoji. First person, that's Hank. You're going to win the first prize, which is going to be a cell phone tripod. And the best takeaway is a free website from liftoffagent as we end the day with a bang. So I'm going to let Mike Sherrard take it away. I'm going to take myself off the screen. We'll see you back here at about 2:15, 2:20 if you need some extra time. So go ahead, Mike, take it away and enjoy Mike Sherrard's keynote.
What's up, guys? I'm super excited to be here. And again, make sure you drop a takeaway because Liftoff truly creates some of the most incredible websites I've ever seen that actually generate you business, unlike many other companies. So you want to be here for this. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you guys through a pretty powerful presentation that's not only changed my life, but changed the lives of tons of other agents, thousands of agents to be exact. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to walk through something pretty powerful and incredible, as we see right here. So I just want to make sure we're good with my screen, which it looks like we are. And we're going to go through here. So as I mentioned, guys, I want to talk to you about how to skyrocket your production and build wealth with YouTube. I'll give myself a quick introduction, and then we're going to get straight into the practical advice. So if you don't know who I am up here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as you can see, I talk fast because I want to make sure you guys get a ton of information. I used to be an engineer, and I quit in 2017 to become a real estate agent. In my first year, I became a top producer for multiple years, and I did it through door knocking. But the thing is I realized that it wasn't scalable, and it didn't, bring me the excitement that I wanted out of real estate. And I realized, times are changing. There has to be a better way. So I started leveraging social media about 6 months into getting my real estate license. And 6 months later, I've been ranked since then the #1 agent in my city and the #1 agent in my province on social media. Every single year, I train thousands of agents on how to properly leverage social media to scale their business. I've broken multiple personal records at EXP. So those that don't know, I joined EXP almost 18 months ago to the date. So a year and a half ago. Since coming then, I've personally sponsored most number of agents ever at the company, and I have the most number of actively producing personally sponsored agents ever at the company. Entirely organic. I've never reached out to a single agent since coming to EXP about joining. Every person has come to me directly, and we've been able to break multiple records. I'm also the founder of High Converting Content, which is a personal branding and content repurposing agency for realtors, and the founder of the Social Agent Academy, which is my social media training for real estate agents on every single platform. My group at EXP is called the Wolfpack, hence you can see the hat. And yes, this is a photo shoot we did last week with my friend's actual 200-pound wolf. This is not Photoshop, this is real. And many people know me for my purple branding, which has been a big aspect of becoming recognized. So let's get straight into it, guys, because I want to make sure that you've got a lot of tactical information to take out of this. And everything that I'm going to talk about by the end of this presentation, you can implement today and get results. You're not going to have to go buy somebody's training, buy somebody's course. This is going to be the stuff that will change your business. So the concept of this presentation is going to be talking about efficient versus effective, where a lot of agents I see are building an effective business, but not an efficient business. And let me break that down for a second. Effectiveness is doing the right things. So when you start looking at building an effective business, this is what I did as a brand new agent, where I was door knocking, I was cold calling, I was doing open houses, which again are all incredible. They all work. I crushed it. I got tons of listings with door knocking, and that was kind of my forte. But what you realize is that it's effective, meaning that it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I started realizing that my business was only growing when I was putting the boots on the ground and hitting the doors. And that meant that the hours of the day that I wasn't prospecting or wasn't hitting the phones or following up with leads, my business was not growing. And I started realizing that to build a scalable real estate business, you have to build an efficient business, which is going from a 1-to-1 relationship to 1-to-many relationship, which is doing things right, building efficiency, and creating ultimately what's called leverage. And this is what took my business from about 16 deals in my first year in the slowest market in North America to tripling my production without doing a single day of prospecting in my second year. So again, as mentioned, I started, talking to a lot of the more successful business owners in my city, and I realized that I was trading time for money and they were trading money for time, because time is the most precious commodity in the world. You cannot buy it back. So how do we get more time? And that's where I started realizing that, I got into real estate to create this lifestyle, but I had no time for vacation, no time for hobbies, and I was always chasing the next deal. And you hear this quote from Warren Buffett that probably everybody's heard of, which is, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you'll work until the day you die. So again, I stopped prospecting and became a top producer at my boutique brokerage previously, before coming to EXP for multiple years after that. Now, the concept I want to explain here is related to personal branding, but also to YouTube, which is what we're going to be diving into today, which is the concept of a lighthouse versus a tugboat. When you start looking at how most real estate agents build their real estate business, is they build it like a tugboat. And every single day, a tugboat, sets out to sea in the morning, tries to bring things back to shore and rinses and repeats every single day. The same thing goes with real estate agents, where most agents wake up, suit up, they go out, try to find clients, they're pounding Zillow leads, they're following up with their online sphere, and then they're trying to come back and they have to rinse and repeat every single day. Whereas when you look at becoming a lighthouse and that concept, tugboats are naturally attracted to lighthouses, and they all gravitate towards the lighthouse. So what I wanted to do is become a strong, top of mind, recognized personal brand where people came to me. Clients were coming to me instead of me having to go out to them, which is, to my understanding, the dream scenario for every real estate agent. Is I get this every single day. People saying, Mike, I want clients to come to me for me. I don't want to go out, have to go out and pitch myself to clients. So that's exactly what we're going to talk to you about today. And again, for those who don't think you can use social media to get $1 million listings, again, Calgary is one of the slowest markets in North America. I got, as you can see down here, $15 million listing a year into the business, the most expensive in my city's history, and sold these ones on social media as well because of my video marketing. Now, to talk to you guys about my journey, and I just want to get into this before we dive into the tactical stuff, because I want you to understand that we all start somewhere. There's a lot of people now that see, as you can see at the bottom, of about 44,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and they'll say, well, Mike, I can't do what you're doing. You're here and I'm there. But I want you to understand where I got started, because I was exactly where some of you likely are today, 4 years ago when I got my license in February of 2017. And to be completely honest, most people don't know this, because I was bullied in high school and all these kind of things, because I was really, overweight and I was teased a lot. I was very, very introverted. You get these memories showing up on Facebook about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and it was me, making fun of people using social media and taking selfies, and now I'm that guy, and it's completely changed my business. So in 2017, again, all the numbers in red are my subscriber count. So I had 0 subscribers. I started with door knocking in the snow, in -10, in all the crazy weather that we have up here in Canada. And then I started to leverage and dabble with video. And to give you some context as to how terrible my first videos were, in order to get started on YouTube, I used to have a GoPro Hero 5. And I used to set it on top of my real estate books that I used to pass my program. And I would record myself every single day on my kitchen counter for 30 minutes. And it took me 6 months to put on my first YouTube video. Now, again, 0 subscribers in 2018, but I started to put out videos. And once I started doing that, I grew to 167 subscribers in my first year, which is nothing, right? I have help people do that in their first month, first week. But the really interesting thing happened in 2019, where I started again. I did, became a top producer my first year, became a top producer my second year, say with my third year. And I realized that I'm always chasing the next deal. And I got to the point where at the end of 2018, where I tripled my production and said, do I really want to just go chase the next deal, going forward into my real estate career? Or is that what I want out of business? So what I did, and you can see here, this was a decision that a lot of people told me I was absolutely insane for, which is in 2019, after tripling my production in 2018, I stopped focusing on production, even though I had no intent of ever coming to EXP. Trust me. I intentionally broke momentum to build a personal brand through putting out free videos. I took 2019, I stood at about 23 deals. And what I did is I put out 3 videos a week every single week, because I knew that those who have a strong personal brand have an unfair competitive advantage to those that don't in whatever business venture they focus on. So I knew that I could go build the production back again if I wanted to, but I knew that I wanted to build a strong personal brand so that no matter where life takes me, I'll be able to, again, have an unfair advantage whenever I go into that position. So in 2020, unbeknownst to me, I decided to join EXP, just based on looking at the incredible life-changing opportunity that this has. And again, in my first year, I did what nobody has ever done at the company, which is attract 165 agents personally, entirely organic through YouTube, with no outbound messaging, no DMs, no sending anything to anybody. Every single one of those agents came directly to me. And then in 2021, I 10x'd my income and went from about $300,000 a year to $3 million this year, is what we're on track to do, all through social media and video marketing, which is what we're going to get into. So this has changed my life. And to show you what it's done for other people, this is the last slide before we get into it. Here's a couple case studies to show this, show you guys what this does for other people. John was a brand new agent in a new city who just moved there. And he did 0 deals for his first 6 months in real estate at his past brokerage. Now he came to me 6 months later saying, Mike, I got to pay for the bills. I've got no business. How do I do this? I helped him launch his YouTube channel. A month later, he was getting daily calls from his YouTube videos. And John is a 49-year-old massive introvert that's never put out a video in his life and only does iPhone videos. By the 5th month, he was doing 5 deals a month. And now he called me a month ago, and he's now averaging 8 to 10 deals a month from his YouTube channel with no ad spend, no marketing, and no prospecting, and retired his wife from her 6-figure corporate job so that she can help him with the business. The craziest one is Suman, who joined me as well at EXP. New agent, new city, no experience, never put out a video in his life. 11 months ago, I helped him launch his YouTube channel. He's now done over 70 deals in his first 11 months, all from YouTube with no ad spend, no marketing, and no prospecting, and on track to do $52 million in production, $1 million a week. And as you can see here, this is Suman's Facebook. Every single week, he's posting the escrows he has. So this stuff works that we're going to get into today, and I'm excited to show you how to apply it. So again, what we're going to get into is show you how to create an evergreen content army that, whether you're focused on production, which is, I'm assuming, the majority of you, how to attract hot and warm clients at scale. And then if you're focused on agent attraction like myself, how to, again, have people coming directly to you, because I have big teams, big brokerages, up to brokerages of 100. And I've got a call in 2 hours from now with a brokerage of 1,700 that all come directly to me based on what I have to offer. So I'm going to show you in this presentation how to outrank agents spending thousands a month on Google pay-per-click for free, how to attract warm and hot clients. So why YouTube before we get into the tactical? Obviously 2 billion active monthly users. It's the number 2 search platform owned by number 1, which is Google. And that's really powerful. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this, because based on what we do with real estate, we're based on how many people can find us, because the more people we know and the more people who know us or can find us, the more deals we close. And 2 stats here that I think are really important, I'll kind of ignore the rest, is 85% of homeowners would be more likely to list with a realtor that uses video to market their home, and 86% of home shoppers look to video to find out more about a community. So when you start looking at why the time is now for YouTube, there's a couple important bullet points before I show you exactly what you need to do on YouTube in order to rank number 1. So the first thing is consumer behavior. We all understand that attention span is getting short, and we understand that people are looking for convenience because convenience sells. So what you're seeing now is this massive transfer of people that previously used to want to read blogs or read articles that were on realtors' websites to now wanting to watch a video to consume that content and to get the same gist out of what they were trying to say by just watching something because they're multitasking, scrolling, or doing whatever else. Now, the second thing, which is really important, is embracing change. Because I talk to agents that have been in the business for 2 days, 2 years, 20 years, and a lot of times whenever people hit a certain plateau, what you see is the fact that they're stagnant in terms of their learning. And they want to do things the old way. They said, Mike, back in the day, this is what I did and it worked, so I still want to do that. Well, times have changed. And if you want to be on the leading edge of how to scale your real estate business going into 2022, you have to embrace change. And this is why you'll see, I know Norman and a number of people here into crypto and different things like that. Not just talking about crypto, but what I'm talking about is looking at people like Elon Musk or looking at any big entrepreneur. They're always embracing change. They're looking at different currencies. They're looking at what social media platform is active and relevant that I can get in front of an audience today. Because as real estate agents, what we need to understand is that how we get in front of people and how we can get in front of more people is the name of the game. And if you're not adapting to new relevant modern technology that can do that at scale for you, you will fall behind the curve. Now, the third thing, and this has been the one that's made the biggest difference for my business, is that YouTube helps you develop skills that you didn't know you really needed to have, which is communication. Communication is by far the number one skill any real estate agent needs to build a successful business. I've never lost a listing presentation since getting into real estate. And the primary reason for that, even though I went up against the top agents in my city, is that you don't need the most money. You don't need the most years of experience. You don't need the biggest team. You need the ability to resonate with people and communicate on a better level than anybody else. And if you communicate better, you will win the listing. Same thing with agents that are coming to me to look at exploring EXP. Most people kind of struggle to grow their teams at the organization because they don't have the right way to communicate how powerful this model truly is, or the value propositions on top of it that you can create. Whereas 98% of the people that I've talked to have joined my group, which is almost unheard of because, again, it's all about developing communication skills. Now, thriving versus surviving is a key concept here because those that do embrace change are going to be thriving heading into the new year, and those that are not embracing change are going to be the ones struggling to survive as they continue to navigate their business, but always falling behind the curve of what's relevant. Now, a key factor here is the goal for social media is to ultimately build the like, know, and trust factor. That's all you're trying to do on any platform. That is the gist of it. People get to like you when they see one or two things from you. They'll get to know you once they consistently see content from you. They will only get to trust you once they get to understand your true, raw, authentic, and transparent personality. And the beauty about YouTube compared to other platforms is when you look at Instagram and Facebook, for example, one view is counted as 1 second watched of your video. On YouTube, one view is counted as 30 seconds watched of your video. So you're now building 30 times the level of trust with people and building that connection that otherwise on other platforms wouldn't be there. So as you start to look at this is why whenever people are contacting me, they all feel and they all say like they feel like they know me already before they've even met me, because they've watched so much of my content, and I am exactly in my videos as I am in person, as for anybody that's actually met me. So it's a really great way to build that trust factor. And here's two things that I want to talk to you about. We've already talked about effective versus efficient, but I'll dive a bit deeper. Showing versus telling. Every single real estate agent that I've ever met says to their clients that they go above and beyond more than any other agent. They do more than anybody else. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get their home sold. But if you're not leveraging video, you're lying, because this is one key aspect proven based on the data that have even shown you that you're not doing, which means you're not actually doing everything it takes for your clients to get their home sold, right? So even if the video doesn't sell the property, what it does is I'm going to show you, because all of Suman's videos that, again, 70 deals in 11 months from YouTube, a lot of times those videos are property tours, and it's not people buying those properties, but has built his brand to the point where people are coming to him because people want their property represented that way too on video. right? So it's a really neat concept here. And now what happens is you start to leverage video is that you're building a live case study or a live portfolio of the quality of work that you do, and you can show what you do above and beyond any other agent instead of just trying to tell them and for them to conceptualize that, which is really difficult. Now, effective versus efficient, before I go and show you exactly what you need to do on YouTube. Building an effective versus efficient business. Again, effectiveness is doing traditional prospecting or handling, traditional leads and things like that. And the problem with that is that, again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it depends on your time invested in doing that certain activity. Whereas when you look at efficiency, I can put out one video, and essentially, if I optimize it properly, as I'm going to show you how to do it, it's essentially door knocking for you 24/7, 365. Or it's cold calling for you 24/7, 365 if you optimize it properly. So now you're able to, again, build a more efficient business where you can get the same or even greater output. And due to the fact that YouTube is evergreen, it will last there forever. So some of Suman's videos, some of John's videos, some of my videos have been attracting clients, agents, and prospects every single day for years, just based on properly optimizing it, which again is a much greater way to create leverage in your business. So let's start talking about building the foundation, and then I'm going to show you the exact videos you need to put out to attract clients, buyers and sellers, the exact videos that are proven to work every single time. And then we will wrap up with some best practices. So here again, you guys could take a screenshot of this if you want, just because we don't need to spend too much time going through it. But just some certain best practices about building the foundation, making sure you've got the same profile picture as every other platform in terms of Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, your Facebook business page, having an optimized channel art that talks about the market that you serve and what makes you different, your competitive advantage, filling out your about section with a brief bio, the market you serve, the brokers you're with for compliance, how to get in touch with you, things like that. Now, enabling custom thumbnails is an important one just because for branding, but the more important one is this one, creating playlists. So for those that are looking to get started on YouTube, there's a couple specific playlists you can create that are strategic because this creates buckets of content that you can start to fill. So you can create playlists for buyers, for sellers, for property tours, for sold properties, for communities, for your city, and testimonials are kind of the key playlist that you would like to create for your YouTube channel. If you're focused on production, again, buyers and sellers, there's obviously a completely different avenue for agents. And then now these are the 12 videos again, and I wrote them out so that this is exactly how you would actually title your YouTube video if you were to put this out. All you would do is replace the bracket city name with your city name. And this is proven based on SEO and the hundreds of agents have helped attract clients at scale with on YouTube. This is the exact copy and paste title of your YouTube video that you can take. So when you start looking at these, they kind of go into different buckets, which is relocation, living in your city, community and city tours, property tours, and then market updates are kind of the 5 pillars of videos that are proven to work every single time. These just happen to be the exact highest converting ones based on the data that I've studied. Being an ex-engineer, I'm a nerd, and I like to look at the data to prove what works and not just make assumptions about work. So, certain things like moving to Denver, 5 things you need to know. What is the cost of living in Calgary, Alberta in 2021? Right? Top 5 things to do. Now, pros and cons work really well as well. Calgary real estate market update month, year. Now, just to break this down for you to give you guys some context as to why this is so powerful. If you look at this, for example, Calgary real estate market update month, year. So, October 2021. The reason why this title works so well and helps rank your video #1 in your market if you optimize it properly every time is because of how many different keyword variations there are. And what you'll see is this can actually rank your video #1 on Google ahead of people spending thousands a month on Google pay-per-click. Because from a keyword perspective, you've got, Calgary real estate, Calgary real estate market, Calgary real estate market update, Calgary real estate October 2021. There's about 13 different keyword variations just in this one title, which again is why I designed it to be heavily catered towards SEO. And then for anybody that's looking to farm certain areas, you want to make sure that, again, based on 86% of buyers looking to video to learn more about a community, you want to be doing a property or a community tour of those areas, talking about the amenities, the lifestyle, the features, the average prices, different things about the types of properties and the styles of properties and that kind of thing. Now, the caveat to number 9, because number 9 is exactly how Suman did 70 deals in 11 months entirely from YouTube is property tours of pre-construction and new development. The key to doing video is you need to be in the video. One of the worst things you can do is to just send a video team out and say, hey guys, go check out 123 Main Street, record the video, send it to me when you're done, right? It does not build your brand, because here's what you have to understand. The video of those properties might not attract the attract a buyer for that property, but what it does is it builds your brand. And the ones that are actively in their own videos are the ones that start to attract clients at scale, because people are seeing and getting to know you. Now, let's start talking about how to actually optimize your YouTube videos to rank, and some best practices in order to get better results. So all you need, again, if you look at Suman and John and their channels, all they use is an iPhone and their computer to edit. They don't have any fancy mics, fancy, equipment. They didn't spend thousands of dollars or $100,000 a year to hire a videographer. They did it themselves, and they're closing more deals than most top producers in any market, right? So anybody can get started with this, just with, the beautiful device that we all have probably in front of us right now, which is your phone, right? Getting started is the most important thing. Done is better than perfect. Do not wait for something, clean, sexy, and multiple angles and stuff like that. You do not need it, and I've proven it every time. So before we get into the optimization, which is the next slide, there's 4 key components to the YouTube algorithm, and I want to explain these briefly just so that you have an understanding of how this actually works. Watch time, post-launch velocity, click-through rate, and returning viewers. Watch time is the most key component, which is how much of your video are people watching. And this goes to the question most people ask, which is how long should a YouTube video be? Your YouTube video should be as short as it needs to be in order to get the point across that you're trying to deliver to your audience, so that they don't have to go search for any other content, but without going on tangent stories and sidetracks, right? So your video should be short, understand attention span is short, and you want to make it so that people watch at least 50% of your video, because if they do, YouTube's going to promote it to a wider audience. So try not to go on stories. Don't talk about your day or your weekend. Get straight to the point. Give the tactical advice and get back to work. Post-launch velocity, how many people are viewing your content or your video within the first 24 hours? This is why one of the best practices you can do is actually create content to nurture your database. So if you have 500 people in your database of past, current, and potential clients, you want to create content that is catered towards nurturing them, because that way, whenever you put it in a YouTube video, like I do with my database, you can send it to your audience or your database. Then you can get more viewers in the first 24 hours, show YouTube people like it, and then it'll promote it further. Click-through rate is all about having nicely designed thumbnails. I'll give you some tips on that. And returning viewers are how many people that not only see one of your videos, but come back to your channel to continue to binge your content. And that comes from doing a simple strategy, which is just simply linking additional videos that have done well on your channel in the description, so that people have more to see after they've watched it. Now, as you can see here, I use the exact strategy I'm about to show you to rank #1 for every single search term related to social media for real estate agents. Even people with much bigger audiences than me, like Tom Ferry, I still outrank them every single time because of these strategies. So you don't need a big audience, and the power of SEO is this is what happens when you even type this into Google, right? This is not YouTube, this is Google. My videos show up. So again, this is the same thing that's happening with the agents that are doing this, is that whenever people are searching for a certain community or a market update about your market, your video is showing up on Google, and that is extremely powerful. So here are the components of how to instantly rank in your market on YouTube. There's 4 key components, which is tags, titles, descriptions, and thumbnails. And I'll kind of break these down because I know we're running kind of short on time here. So with a thumbnail, a couple best practices you want to do is #1, for branding, make sure that you are in every thumbnail. Unless it's for a property, then you can do the typical property, big price over top, or unique feature over top, and go from there. Text that's easily legible. I see a lot of people designing thumbnails on Canva that the text color is almost neutral to the background. It blends in and difficult to read. 82% of people are watching on mobile. You want to make sure it's easily legible, even if you shrink it down, and then use your personal branding colors. For titles, make it very literal. Think, what would your ideal client be typing into Google or YouTube in order for your video to be an exact match for them? Don't get creative. Don't say, is the Toronto real estate market crashing in October? Say, Toronto real estate market update, October 2021, right? Because that's what people are searching for. With your description, you want to flood it with keywords. As you can see here, I've got a short description flooded with multiple. And then your tags, all that this is doing is one of the most key components that most people forget about, is just think about how many different ways people could be typing in your title and switching it up. So you could see Facebook ads for real estate agents, Facebook ads for real estate, Facebook ads for realtors, Facebook leads for real estate, all of the different variations you think somebody might be typing in order for your video to be the right fit. And if you do these 4 things, that is proven to rank your videos instantly in your market. So now let's talk about a couple things before we wrap up here. 2 quick things. How to find endless video topics. Number 1, use the echo effect. And what the echo effect is anytime you hear a client ask you the same question, or different clients ask you the same question over and over and over, instead of, again, answering it in an effective way, which is one-to-one, create a YouTube video for it to do one-to-many. So people ask you, how much does it cost to use a realtor to work with a buyer? This is free. You make a YouTube video about that. When is the best time to sell your property? Make a YouTube video for that. What happens after you write the offer? Make a video for that, because then you can create a very unique database of videos for your clients, send them a video, and start to, again, interact with people in a different way. Keywords Everywhere is a plug that you can use. It's a Chrome extension, and whenever you type anything into your market, into Google, what happens, it'll show you all the keywords on the right-hand column. So if you type in, if you live in Denver and you're a realtor, and you type in Denver real estate in Google, Keywords Everywhere will, for free, show you every single top keyword or key phrase that people living in Denver are searching, and then all you have to do is make a YouTube video about the top ones, and now you can rank and take those clients. And R&D is the last one. Rip off and duplicate everything that's already been done before. Look at Google search. Take a different agent's blog that they wrote and turn it into a video. The script is already there for you. Look at other people's YouTube channels that have done well, filter their channels by the most, popular videos, and then put your own spin off it. You don't have to get crazy here. Everything that's been proven to work has been done. Rip off, duplicate, give yourself a blueprint, make it easy on yourself. Now, the second last thing before we wrap it up here, how to make it easy on yourself. This is the exact process I go through when recording videos to make it easy, because I do 1 month of content in 1 day every single month. Topic research, again, doing what I just talked to you guys about, writing out the titles. Then I write out the key bullet points, as you can see here. And then I will batch my entire month's worth of content in one sitting, in one session. I will outsource the video editing and the thumbnail and graphic design. I will then repurpose that content for every other platform, and then I'll schedule all of it to go out and within 1 day. And then that way, all of my content is done for the entire month without having to think about it. So as you can see here, I write out all the topics, and now what I do with this is I actually make a YouTube video about this, explaining each of these points in detail. And then I actually now take these bullet points and do it quickly, and now it becomes a TikTok and a reel as well. So you can get all of your content for the entire month on every platform done in one session just by leveraging this strategy. It's worked incredibly well. And now I'm able to put out quite a bit of content, and this is the way to find leverage and efficiency in your business. So finally, best practices. Number 1, be consistent, right? If you have to understand that as a realtor that's on social media, you're also a content creator and you're an entertainer, right? The formula for, entertaining content is E2I equals FC, education, entertainment, and impact equals focus, engagement, or focus content. So those are the 3 buckets: education, entertainment, impact. Just think about it for a second. Like if you're watching, Game of Thrones or whatever people watch these days, if they put out 6 episodes a week and then took 6 weeks off and then put out 2 episodes and then took a month off and then took a year off, nobody would watch their content or their series because it would be impossible to keep up with. Whereas with YouTube, again, you're the same thing. Consistency is what matters. Now, R&D, we already talked about that, rip off and duplicate. I'll go into the 4 C's, which is clear, concise, compelling, and credible. Those are the 4 things you want to see and make sure that are, kind of pillar foundations of when you're doing YouTube content. Make sure the outcome is clear. You know exactly the message you're trying to deliver to your target audience, your client. Make sure it's concise. You're not going on tangents and rambling and things like that. Make sure it's compelling in a sense where you captivate information. It sounds exciting. You're excited about it. You've got energy about it. And make sure it's credible. Again, make sure that you can talk about your years of experience or your brokerage experience, if you're a new agent, or anything that just adds a bit of credibility to it. And then the blueprint for a good YouTube video is within the first 15 seconds, you want to hook them. So you want to say, instead of, hey, everybody, it's Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Calgary real estate market update. You want to say, is it really a seller's market or is it a buyer's market? What I want to do today is show you one of the most important things that you might be missing out on and that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, and then get into your video, right? I just thought that up, but just think about how you can captivate attention and hook the viewer immediately. Then the most important thing for you guys, if you take anything from this, is if you're doing videos, please make sure you do a call to action. Say, by the way, if you like the information I share in this video, or if you would like to view homes or know more about the market or meet one-on-one, my contact information is in the description below. My cell phone number, my email, please feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'd love to help you out. If you don't have a call to action and you don't call to action, there is no action that gets taken. So the agents that crushed it with YouTube that I showed you early are the ones that are driving call to actions. And then again, body, outro, and remember, done is better than perfect. Getting a video out there that is imperfect is doing a lot more for your business and your, the growth of your organization than a video that's perfect sitting on Dropbox. So if I can urge you to do anything, understand that imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. To take action and start to implement these strategies, because as you'll see, this has completely changed my life. It's changed the lives of many people in my organization. And I want you to understand how powerful this truly is. So hopefully that gives you an understanding of how to properly use YouTube and end your day off with something practical and tactical.
Wow. That was a powerhouse of wealth of knowledge and great information, Mike. I really appreciate that. And I know individuals, mind blown, absolutely love it. I'm sure people are going to want, potentially, depending on, it's up to you, access to the slides. This will be recorded. So if anyone wants to come back in and go through Mike Sherrard's keynote, you can do as such. I know a lot of times all information overload, you really retain 10% of whatever anyone tells you. So everyone's like, let's go. Everyone's loving it, man. Unbelievable. Mind blown. I'm loving the comments. Thank you. Fantastic. That's why we wanted to end this with Mr. Mike Sherrard, because Mike is someone that is leading not just with value, but leading by example. He is the example. He is someone that, I've looked up to for quite a while. You actually talked about, outsourcing the thumbnails and the copy and all that type of stuff. Hey, that's what we do. So, so there's some synergy. I see what Mike has done, and we talked about working together a while back, and he's just been blowing up. And this is an opportunity for us to work together and for everyone to see, and hear from him. So subscribe to Mike's YouTube channel. I feel like there's a ton of stuff you can get from his YouTube channel. Everything he just talked about is there. I would love to know if there's any questions for Mr. Mike Sherrard, so we can go ahead and put that here and be able to ask any questions that you have. He will be in the breakout room for about 10 minutes. And the best takeaway, you're going to put that in the chat now as well, will be a free website. So go ahead and put your best takeaway in the chat for a free website, and also any questions that you have. Wow, Mike, that was fire. I love it, man.
That was a lot. And sorry, guys, that I speak so fast. As Norman said, it's probably hard to retain it all, but I will gladly give you the slides or whatever you need through Norman, and we'll make sure that you guys have everything that you need to take this in and soak it in.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, that's the biggest thing from our event, is we want to make sure people could take this information and digest it, take some time, and find out what lane they want to go into. If they want to go in the lane with YouTube, which highly recommend, go into that lane. There's TikTok, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's stories, there's so many things. But if you see the narrative, it all comes together. The narrative's the same. Be true, be real, be authentic, be consistent, and all of those things. So let's see here. Yes, please, video. So they will be recorded. Done. done is better than perfect. That's a really good takeaway. I gotta say, that's a really good takeaway. What was your very first video? There you go. There's a question for you. What was your very first video, Mike?
Yeah, my very first video was actually a video introducing myself. I started at Remax as a new agent for 4 months until I left there back in 2017. And I did a little video just introducing, who I was, what I was planning to do in the real estate industry, and how I was planning to use all these modern strategies. And I just did about a 4-ish minute video, talking about what I was hoping to do. And, thankfully looking back 4 years now, it's all come together.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that comes up for me is like, what was it? I want to say, we talked about storytelling earlier. I might've been with Mr. Zachary and telling a story, right? So just telling your story of like who you are, where you want to go, what's your dreams, what's your aspirations, and putting that into the universe. And then also people watching it, people are going to be like, you know what? Like, let me support Mike. Like this guy, I want to support him. I want to be the part of the process. And then now it's like, Lamborghini and like large team and like all these things. And I remember when you sent me the DM, that's what I didn't say at the beginning. I was one of the first persons to get the DM when Mike said, hey man, look what I ordered. I was like, oh shit. And then he's like, Norm, where's your GTR? I'm like, it's coming. So we just talked about that as well. And so it's amazing when you have other people that support you and get behind you and are a part of your story, your brand story. It's a really good book, how that can come together full circle. So any other takeaways, questions, put it here. Candy, use client questions to create YouTube videos. There you go. Client questions for YouTube videos. That's a good one. Any other questions, put them in. And best takeaway. So it looks like we have a couple takeaways here, Mike. You probably see them in the chat. Social agent student here. Oh, social agent student here. Love the pre-best takeaway, how to be a lighthouse versus man. So you have one of your students actually with us right now in the chat, if you see that, Mike. So out of the takeaways here, go ahead. Anyone else that wants to put your best takeaway, we're going to let Mike select a comment from the takeaways in the comment section to win a website. So who do you think, Mike, should win this website? Yeah,
let me take a peek at this. I'll try not be...
On the right-hand side, we got some more coming in, and then you'll see it goes all the way down from like Ryan Mind Blown, going down from there. We got a handful of comments, and which one would you say is the best one? End our day off with the bang.
Damn, there's a couple here. Give me 1 second.
No pressure, no pressure. I'm taking the pressure off of me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, man, I think honestly, like, I don't know any of the names on here, which is really nice to not be biased. But I think looking at this, efficient over effective, that's been common. So we keep seeing that. I think honestly, I don't want to say that it's swaying because it's not, but I think the fact that, Shannon, who I've never seen before, but congrats on being in the training. I think the biggest one, and this is the one that made the big difference for me, is taking a tactical approach to using consistency in content, because a lot of people use a spray and pray approach, and they're not being tactical about it by looking at the data of how to actually service your clients and thinking strategically about how can you approach this with your business, and thinking about it from a very analytical perspective. So for me, that one resonates with me. Shannon Weed really hits home because I try and take a tactical approach to everything I do.
Shannon, congratulations on your new website. So we will be in contact with all of the winners, so everyone will know what's going on. We will be ordering these gifts and sending them directly to your location going through Amazon. We got to get the orders in quick because they're talking about shipping problems coming to the holiday season. So we'll make sure that we get all your gifts to you. It'll probably happen after the event. So day 1, day 2. So day 2 is coming hot off the press tomorrow at 8 a.m. Now, for the rest of today, you have 10 minutes of Mike Sherrard's time to actually have some time with him. That's priceless. When I have time with Mike Sherrard, it's usually on a Sunday or Saturday, and I'm very grateful, Mike. So you got 10 minutes, go to his breakout room, ask him any questions. It'll be nice because you can see each other and actually talk with each other. So let's go ahead and do that and be respectful there for each other's time. And Mike's time is 10 minutes. And then have some fun and let's go network. So we'll leave everything open for the rest of the day so you can go ahead and network. I would love to network with anyone, so I'll jump in there too and do a little bit of networking myself. Mike, thank you so much, man, and have an amazing rest of your day, brother.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you tuning in to this incredible event. Norman, thank you for putting this on for all of us. It means the world to me, and I'll speak to everybody on that. So I will head into the room, guys, and feel free to come in and chat.
Awesome. All right, Mike, take care. Have a good rest of your day, man.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.